Ever wondered how much of your brain you are truly using? This question has sparked intrigue and debate for centuries, with a common myth suggesting that humans use a mere 10% of their brains. But let's pause for a moment and imagine the boundless possibilities if we were to tap into just a fraction more. Picture a world where you could unlock the full potential of your cognitive abilities. A world where your brain, like a finely tuned instrument, works harmoniously to help you achieve your goals, solve complex problems, or even remember where you left your keys. Sounds like something out of a sci-fi novel, doesn't it? But what if I told you it's not as far-fetched as it seems? You see, our brains are not static, unchanging organs. They are dynamic, adaptable, and constantly evolving. This concept, known as neuroplasticity, suggests that our brain's capacity for change is far greater than we once thought. With the right strategies, we can train our brains to be more efficient, more productive, and, yes, even smarter. It's like going to the gym, but for your mind. Just as we can sculpt our bodies through targeted exercise, we can also shape our brains through focused mental training. Now, let's take a leap from the realm of neuroscience to the world of anime. In the popular series Classroom of the Elite, we meet characters who use their brains to the fullest, overcoming obstacles with a blend of intelligence, strategy, and sheer willpower. Characters like Ayanakoji, who with stoic resilience and unwavering calm navigates life's trials with a sense of purpose and rationality. These characters offer us a glimpse into what could be possible if we were to harness more of our brain's power. But how do we transition from mere spectators of these anime geniuses to active participants in our own cognitive evolution? What if we could harness more of our brain's power, just like the anime geniuses we admire? Let's delve into the strategy that could turn this what if into a how-to. So buckle up, folks. It's time to explore the untapped potential of your mind. Now imagine using just 10% of your brain more efficiently. Let's unravel the 10% strategy. Picture this. Your brain is a vast, unexplored territory, and the 10% strategy is your compass, guiding you towards your goals. It's about honing in on what you want to achieve, focusing your mental energy, and accepting that progress, no matter how small, is still progress. It's not about using just 10% of your brain, but about using 10% more efficiently. Think about it. How many times have you set a goal, only to lose your way because you're overwhelmed by the enormity of it all? The 10% strategy is your antidote to that overwhelming feeling. It's about breaking down your goals into smaller, more manageable tasks, and then devoting just 10% of your brain power to achieving these tasks. Now, you're probably wondering, how does this strategy apply to my everyday tasks and long-term goals? Well, the beauty of the 10% strategy is its versatility. Whether you're studying for an exam, working on a project, or training for a marathon, the 10% strategy can help you focus your mental energy where it matters most. It's like training a muscle. You wouldn't go to the gym for the first time and attempt to lift the heaviest weights, would you? No, you'd start small, gradually increasing the weight as your strength improves. The 10% strategy works in much the same way. It's about strengthening your mental muscles gradually without overwhelming them. But remember, the 10% strategy isn't a quick fix. It's a slow and steady process that requires patience and persistence. It's about training your brain to be more efficient, not about achieving overnight success. Finally, the 10% strategy is about accepting that small progress is still progress, so let's celebrate those small victories because they're stepping stones towards achieving our larger goals. Harnessing just a fraction more of our brain's potential could lead to significant improvements in our lives. So, are you ready to tap into that untapped potential? In the world of anime, characters like Ayanakoji from Classroom of the Elite embody the 10% strategy. Ayanakoji, a stoic character, is a master of cognitive control, a paradigm of mental fortitude, and a beacon of strategic thinking. His calm demeanor and unwavering composure are not just character traits. They are the manifestations of a mind that is operating at optimal capacity. Ayanakoji's approach to life's challenges reflects the essence of the 10% strategy. He cultivates a deep-seated desire to achieve not just in academic pursuits, but in all aspects of his life. This desire drives him to articulate his goals clearly, memorize them, and engage in activities that are in alignment with those goals. Even in the face of adversity, he maintains his focus and continues to work towards his objectives. Unlike many, Ayanakoji doesn't plunge headlong into his pursuits. Instead, he uses a fraction of his brain power, just 10%, to initiate his endeavors. This approach allows him to conserve his mental energy and ensures that he doesn't burn out. It's a strategy that's built on the premise of accepting small progress. And it's a strategy that Ayanakoji demonstrates with finesse. In his world, there's no room for overexertion. He limits himself strategically, focusing on core mind training and honing his mental faculties. This focus on self-discipline and cognitive improvement forms the crux of his character. But perhaps the most noteworthy aspect of Ayanakoji's approach to the 10% strategy is his emphasis on mindful practice. He understands the importance of consistency and the power of repetition. His actions are deliberate, his thoughts are calculated, and his progress is steady. Ayanakoji's mental prowess is not beyond reach, it's a matter of strategy. He exemplifies the potential that resides within each of us, a potential that can be unlocked through the adoption of the 10% strategy. His character is a testament to the power of the human mind and a demonstration of what can be achieved when we harness our cognitive abilities effectively. So how can we apply the 10% strategy in our lives? Let's dive right in. Firstly, it's crucial to cultivate a desire to achieve. Much like our Stoic friend Ayankoji from Classroom of the Elite, we must possess a deep-rooted drive to excel. But how can we nurture this drive? By articulating our goals. Write them down, memorize them, make them a part of your everyday life. This is your mission, your personal blueprint for success. Secondly, engage in activities aligned with your goals, but here's the catch. Use only 10% of your brain power initially. You might be wondering, just 10%, but why? Well, it's about creating a foundation, a base to build upon. Imagine trying to construct a skyscraper without first laying down a solid foundation. It would crumble, wouldn't it? The same principle applies to our minds. We must first establish a sturdy base of knowledge and skills before we can reach for the stars. Now, this next point is vital. Accept small progress. In an age of instant gratification, it's easy to dismiss small gains and yearn for overnight success. But remember, Rome wasn't built in a day. Each tiny step you take towards your goal is a victory in itself. So, celebrate those small wins, and before you know it, they'll accumulate into something monumental. Next, limit yourself for core mind training. Sounds counterintuitive, right? But think about it. By restricting ourselves, we force our brains to find innovative solutions, to think outside the box. It's like mental gymnastics, keeping our minds agile and sharp. Lastly, emphasize consistent, mindful practice for cognitive improvement. Consistency is key. It's not enough to work hard for a day or a week. We must strive to maintain our efforts over the long haul. And remember, it's essential to stay mindful, to stay present in the moment. This isn't just about achieving our goals, it's about the journey, the learning, the growth. Remember, it's not about overnight success, but continuous improvement. Like Ayankoji, let's embrace the beauty of the process, the joy of the journey, and the satisfaction of self-improvement. Using more of our brains doesn't require a miracle, just a bit of strategy. We've journeyed through the untapped potential of our minds, the intriguing 10% strategy, and the compelling world of Classroom of the Elite and its protagonist, Ayanakoji, a beacon of stoic resilience and strategic prowess. Now, as we wrap up our exploration, let's revisit the key takeaways and how they can transform your cognitive abilities. We started with the intriguing premise that our minds are like vast, unexplored territories brimming with potential. It's not about superhuman abilities, but rather unlocking the power that lies within us all. The human brain is a marvel, capable of amazing feats when driven by a desire to achieve and a smart strategy. Next, we delved into the 10% strategy. Remember, it's not about using only 10% of your brain, but about starting your journey to self-improvement by dedicating just 10% effort initially. This approach is about setting clear, articulate goals, engaging in activities aligned with those goals, and embracing the small steps of progress. It's about training your mind, carving out a pathway towards cognitive improvement, and stoking the fire of your willpower. Throughout, we've woven the threads of this strategy with the narrative of Classroom of the Elite, a vivid anime that showcases the power of strategic thinking and resilience. Just as Ayanakoji leverages his brain power to navigate his world, so too can you harness your cognitive abilities to tackle your challenges. As you venture forth, remember the power of consistency and mindful practice. The 10% strategy isn't a one-time effort, but a commitment to continual growth. It's about nurturing your mind, much like a gardener tending to their plants, ensuring they receive just the right amount of water and sunlight. Finally, don't forget to review your progress, refine your strategies, and stay open to learning and growth. Your cognitive journey is your own unique adventure, filled with opportunities for self-discovery and empowerment. So, are you ready to unlock your brain's potential, just like an anime genius?